5, 4, 3, 2,
1. Happy Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Tuesday. How are y'all doing on this Tuesday? It's your boy Mike D, aka DDE8, aka 13 Wonder of the World. Mike D's. It's so nice to hear from y'all today. Thank y'all for joining me on The Point of View. I am your host again, Mike D, aka DDE8. I know I just said that, but I just wanted to say it again. Shout out to the Point Place family. Shout out to Bobby Reezy. Shout out to M Breezy, Naya. I love y'all as well as my sister. I love all y'all. Thank y'all for listening to The Point of View on the Podbean app, aka also YouTube. I don't know why I said aka, but I just thought about saying it. I was supposed to come on yesterday, but I was just tired, fatigued, burnt out, and I did not come on yesterday. But I am on today, on this Tuesday, which we're at the end of the month, which is the 25th. In 3 days, the month will be over. It is 12:40 down here in the dirty South. And once again, I just want to say God bless y'all. God keep y'all. Thank y'all for listening. You few that listens, I appreciate y'all very much. Thank y'all. I'm trying to make it where it'll be good, better quality to you guys coming soon. Trying to get me some more podcast equipment coming up in the future so that my podcast can be a lot more clearer and a lot more louder, and also to where you can see me talk about this stuff. This is a passion of mine, no doubt about it. I do want to become a sports podcaster really soon in the future. I do want to be to where I can get some revenue off of this, a big amount of revenue, so that my life, along with my family and along with my peeps, their life can be a little easier as well. That's why I do it. I don't really do it for the money or do it for that, but I do it because I want to be knowledgeable in my craft and great at my craft. So that's why I do it. Tonight, the rematch, well, not really a rematch, but this is going to be the first time Luka plays against his old team, Dallas. It's going to be the Lakers and the Mavericks. Anthony Davis, I don't think he's going to play in that game, but Luka Doncic will be playing tonight along with LeBron and the rest of the Lakers. I think the Lakers should win this game because there is no AD. Clay is going to be playing. They got to watch out for him and Kyrie. So we'll see what happens in that game tonight between the Lakers and the Mavericks. And I think it's a road game for the Mavericks. So they will be coming into LA to play the Lakers. Oh man. March Madness is about to start real soon. I'm just waiting on to find out who's all going to be in the tournament, who's all going to have a shot at it, and who all is going to be, very mindful to watch who plays in both men and women. So I'll talk about that a little bit more. And I'll also talk about baseball when baseball starts jumping off with the regular season. But let me talk about professional wrestling. Let me talk about Netflix Raw. Can I talk about that for a minute if you don't mind? First of all, I want to talk about the ending of Monday Night Raw, which was 2 hours and 35 minutes or something like that, which I think they should stick with the 2 hours and 35 minutes Raw. Stick with 2 hours and 30 minutes on Mondays. Go with the 3 hours on Friday because of the commercials and because of the revenue that you get off the commercials. All right. Last night, what I said was going to happen, it ended up happening. Congratulations to Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez for being a 3-time WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Now, a milestone for Liv and Raquel. A disappointment for Bianca and Naomi. Excuse me, I was drinking me a little water. And I'll tell you why. The story had everybody thinking that Jade Cargill was going to pop up on Raw last night. And she didn't. So, what kind of interest is it that they lost? Everybody knew that when they lost, Naomi was going to be the one to get pinned because Bianca is bigger and stronger. Now, let me talk about this, and she's also more marketable right now because she's the bigger star. Let me talk about what's going to happen Saturday at the Elimination Chamber. In that women's Elimination Chamber match, there's going to be a moment where Naomi and Bianca are going to end up tussling with each other. Let me say this. I think it's a smart move to bring Jade Cargill to Toronto. I think she should be in Toronto, and I think she should get involved with the Elimination Chamber, and I think they should pause the match and let them watch the video and see which one of those two were the culprit for attacking her. And that is exactly what I think is going to happen. I could be wrong. It could happen after the Elimination Chamber. I don't know. But I said that they were not going to win the titles. They were not going to keep the titles after Monday, and they didn't. So it's a tough hit for Bianca and Naomi, but congratulations to Liv and Raquel. Now, let's talk about something else. What's happening with the Judgment Day, the guys? We know that JD is still injured. We know that Dominic Mysterio could possibly become the leader of the Judgment Day. And I think that Finn Balor is probably going to be kicked out. Let me say this for a minute. Let me say this. Now, I thought that we were probably going to see Dominic Mysterio against Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania in a hair versus mask match. I thought that Dominic Mysterio was probably going to be the one to retire Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to get Dominic Mysterio against Finn Balor. That would be the right call for WWE to make, that Finn Balor gets back to being the Finn Balor we know, not the Demon Finn Balor, but the Finn Balor that was in monstrous matches where he had a shot to become the champion. Now, let me tell y'all something about Finn Balor. He's one of the greatest, in my book, the greatest NXT champion of all time. There was nobody that had NXT under the wraps like Finn Balor. But when he got to the main roster, because of injuries, he was never able to be as big as he was in NXT. So what happened? He makes main event money, goes back to NXT, and they pump him back up as the same Finn Balor that he was his first rep. So I don't know what they could do with Finn Balor. If I'm Finn Balor, I'm telling them, hey man, y'all got to give me another push at a title. I got to get an individual title. You know what? I think Finn Balor would fit the bill as a United States champion or as a Intercontinental champion. Although he was one in his career. I think he won the title twice. But we're seeing a lot. Then they're saying that it could possibly be AJ versus Finn at Mania. That'd be a great match. Will we see it happen? I don't know. It looks like it's probably going to be Braun Breaker versus AJ at Mania. So that's the thing. Let's go back to the early parts of Raw. Logan Paul is out there. He slapped CM Punk. I think they've changed the narrative, and it was supposed to, I thought it was going to be a triple threat between CM Punk versus Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. Well, they've changed. It looks like they're changing the narrative, And if CM Punk eliminates Logan Paul, then they're building that story right there for WrestleMania. For Logan Paul to go one-on-one with CM Punk. That would be a great match if they could do it. If they go that route. There's no doubt in my mind now, I'm telling you, that John Cena is going to win the Elimination Chamber. It is set up for John Cena to win the Elimination Chamber. It is set up for Cody Rhodes to become a heel. Cody is going to... Let me tell you what I think is going to happen Saturday when Rock comes out there and asks Cody, what you going to do? Let me tell you what The Rock is going to expect. The Rock is going to expect Cody to tell him yes. But here's what I think is going to happen. There's two things that can happen. The logic answer is this. I think that Cody Rhodes could possibly turn heel. But nobody, listen to what I'm going to tell you right here, because this was something that me and D.E. talked about a few weeks ago when John Cena came after the Royal Rumble. He said, what you think about this? He said, what do you think would happen if John Cena was to become a heel? I was like, wow. You know, I thought about that, but I didn't want to say nothing about it. I said, that could possibly happen. I say, that could possibly happen because John Cena has not been a heel in over 22 years. A official heel, not the one where they say Cena sucks. I'm talking about an official heel when he would come out the Word of Life with the lock around his neck, and he would do the little knuckles and all that stuff there. You know, and everybody liked Basic Thugonomics because that was one of the greatest songs that John Cena made. And let me tell you something. John Cena made that song and he forgot about it. Because when they were interviewing him on a podcast, he seemed like he forgot the words to the song. Man, that was one of the best songs of all, that Word of Life. This is Basic Thugonomics. This is just Basic Thugonomics. That boy say, all through your Bible, you know, and John was going hard. New Dead Man Inc. All that stuff, man. He went hard on that song. Force your reinforcements. I strike quick, like this, with the nightsticks. All, man. Never Survivor. All timers. Two-faced rappers. Yeah. So John Cena, man, yeah. What if he turns heel? That's a thing. That could possibly happen. Could John go in there and be a heel and win the title? If he turns heel, they've got to put the title on him. They've got to make this 17th run of him being a heel. I think that's what WWE needs to think about. I think H needs to think about that. Nick Khan needs to think about that. Rock needs to think about that. All the guys that are above in the WWE creative, they need to think about that. That would be a huge hit if John Cena turns heel in his last run in WWE. But yeah, that looks like it's probably going to be CM Punk versus Logan Paul at WrestleMania. And I do believe now, and I want to say this, I think this is the match that's going to happen at WrestleMania. I think it will be Seth Rollins going one-on-one with Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. I do believe it. I'm saying it because I think that's where they're going with that. I think Roman Reigns will come back at the Elimination Chamber and want to fight Seth Rollins. I think that's what's going to happen. I'm doubting that they change that, but I think we're going to get Rollins versus Reigns at WrestleMania, at this year's WrestleMania in Vegas. just a showcase match. It's not going to be for no titles or nothing, I don't think, unless he brings out the Tribal Chief Championship or something like that. But other than that, I don't see nothing else they want Roman to do but fight Seth Rollins. He's going to be in a big match in WrestleMania. And let me tell you something else, folks. This is setting up. If John Cena or Cody turns and becomes the corporate champion, because that's exactly what Rock is trying to get him to be. They're trying to go back 27 years ago with the Survivor Series when Rock joined the corporation when he was down with Vince and Shane McMahon and all those guys. I think that's what we're seeing happen right now with Cody transitioning. If he transitions to a bad guy, then people are going to love it, because there's a lot of people that are starting to sour on Cody. And I don't know why they're doing it. I'll tell you why I think they're doing it. I think the audience they don't want to have a champion that was like Roman Reigns 4 years in the making. They don't want that no more. They're like instant coffee. They're like popcorn. They like something for a minute, then they're on to the next thing. And I'm thinking that's what's happening with Cody. I could be wrong, because Cody is loved also by a lot of people, but Cody's now starting to get booed a little bit. So we'll see what happens with that as well. New Day defeats LWO. Oh man, not again. They need to kill that rivalry. The New Day needs to fight another tag team. They need to find a way to get into the tag team hunt. I would love to see them go up against the War Raiders and up against the Creeds. I would love to see that. I would love to see a triple threat for that. They don't have too many tag teams on Raw right now. They're going to makeshift another tag team. I think you bring back the Brawling Brutes. I think you bring back Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. I think that's what you need to do if you want to make a fresh tag team. I think you bring them back. Also, we saw Lyra versus Dakota. Dakota lost, like I said she was, and she played the good sport, losing, shaking the hands of Lyra, and then Ivy Nile attacked her as well as attacked the champion. So I don't know where this is going. I think this is going to be a triple threat at WrestleMania. It could be. I think Dakota gets another shot at it. And if she does not win at WrestleMania, I think she goes heel. I think you see a more aggressive side of Dakota Kai. I don't understand why Natalya's nowhere in this mix, because I think Natalya could be a great women's intercontinental champion, even though she might not have the belt long. But I think you should put the title on her because you want to see what she can do. Alpha Academy went up against Gunther. Well, Akira Tozawa went up against Gunther. Put on a great little show for Gunther. And then, he got beat. Then Otis tried to come in there and help with it. And then Jey Uso, the man, number one contender for the World Heavyweight title, came out there, ran Gunther off. I tell you what, Ludwig Kaiser, Pete Dunne versus Penta. Penta is still undefeated. You're gonna have to catch him on a bad day to beat Penta. Penta is serious, guys, and they're marketing him. But the question is, will we see Penta against Braun Breaker? If AJ Styles does not beat Braun Breaker for the title, then we see Penta versus Braun Breaker, and I think that Penta will possibly become the Intercontinental Champion. I think that's why they're moving this rivalry slow. I think that's what they're doing it for. Io Sky, remember, Io Sky next Monday goes up against Rhea Ripley for the women's world title. So whoever wins that elimination chamber gets to go up against Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. So that's going to be interesting right there to see. That's going to be very interesting. That's going to be a difficult situation for whoever's fighting her. I still think it could be either Bianca Belair or it could be Alexa Bliss. It's going to be one of those two, I think, that are going to win the Elimination Chamber. I don't think it's going to be Roxanne Perez. I don't think it's going to be Bayley. I think it's going to be either Alexa or it's going to be Bianca. But if Bianca is in this storyline with Jade, I think that Jade is going to fight Bianca at WrestleMania. Naomi's not. I think Naomi is just going to be a part of it. But this is my deal right here. If you want Jade to have a big match at WrestleMania, you put her up against the big star in Bianca Belair. Bianca can lose that match at Mania and still shake back. That's the thing that people don't get. She can come back. She can shake back after the win. Losing to Jade is not going to hurt her at all. And then you can figure out, in New Orleans next year, WrestleMania, do you want to have a match with Bianca versus Rhea Ripley? That could happen. Work it all the way back around to the next year's WrestleMania. See, here's the deal. And I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to talk about something else in a minute. Here's the deal with how I think wrestling goes. You always have to look at the bigger picture, not only for the rest of this year, but also for what you're going to do for Royal Rumble, what you're going to do for Elimination Chamber, and what you're going to do for WrestleMania. You see, they had all this for John Cena side out already. When he came out and told everybody that this is his last year in the business of wrestling, they already had this mapped out, what they're going to do with John. It's already in advance what you're going to do for him. Now, let me go back to the John Cena situation for just 1 second. And the Cody. If this happens between John Cena and Cody, if John Cena wins, because it's looking like it's going to be John Cena versus Cody at WrestleMania, because John Cena is not going to be in no mid match with nobody unless it's a big guy. It's got to be Cody. It's got to be John versus Cody. Or it could be John versus Punk, or it could be any one of those guys, but I think it could be John versus Logan Paul, but I think it's going to be John versus Cody. Okay, let's talk about that for a minute again. I know I talked about it earlier. If Cena sides with Rock, let's just say he turns heel and joins Rock. Guess what happens at next year's WrestleMania in New Orleans? Do you pull the plug and you make Roman versus Rock at next year's WrestleMania in New Orleans, in the Superdome? And the answer to that question is yes. Absolutely. And I'm going to tell you why. This match between Roman Reigns and Rock was supposed to have took place. Listen to what I'm going to tell you. This match was supposed to have took place at the WrestleMania when it was Cody versus Roman the first time. Who was the champion at the time? Roman Reigns, am I correct? So they were going to have that match between Rock and Roman Reigns at that WrestleMania. But they couldn't get the match done probably because of Rock's scheduling movies and things like that. So last year, last year, when Rock, the first Raw of 2024, where he was on USA, and Rock told everybody that he wanted to eat at the head of the table, and they were setting it up for Cody to go up against Seth Rollins, because they were going to make that match between Cody versus Seth Rollins for the world title at WrestleMania, because Cody had won the Royal Rumble and everything again. So when they did that, listen to what I'm going to tell you. When they did that, they decided that Cody felt left out, and the fans spoke up, and Rock made the decision to change the match to a 2-night WrestleMania match for Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. If you notice, those three guys wrestled twice at last year's WrestleMania. So Cody still got the story by winning the title, but it was going to be Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania last year. It got canned. So I think they're not going to can it anymore. They could have did it again this year, but the problem was that Rock probably could not have done WrestleMania in wrestling. He's going to be at WrestleMania in some type of capacity, either coming out there with one of those guys, or he's going to be doing something. Rock is not going to be not at WrestleMania. The Rock has plans, and I heard from the dirt sheets that a lot of people are upset because of the change in the plan with The Rock. Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell those wrestlers something. The ones that are griping. Let me tell y'all something. Rock is a part of the company. Rock has membership, and he's on the board of TKO, which owns WWE. You cannot tell that man who has done a lot for the business in a short time, no. You can't tell him no. Are you serious? You can't get disgruntled about that because Rock's coming in and you had a shot at something and now it's gone. WrestleMania is coming right around the corner, and WrestleMania, you guys are going to be a part of WrestleMania somehow. And that's just it. I'm still trying to figure out, where is Sheamus going to be? Where is Sheamus going to be in this at WrestleMania? They have no plans for Sheamus right now. And I know that WrestleMania is like a month away, a little bit over a month, but they have no plans for Sheamus. I don't know where Sheamus is going to be. I hope to God that Sheamus has a WrestleMania match and Sheamus is not thrown into the Andre the Giant Memorial. And by the way, God bless Andre the Giant's soul. He was one of the greatest big men in the business. But for Sheamus, who is almost a Grand Slam champion in WWE. This man has won Money in the Bank. He's won a Royal Rumble. He's the king of the ring. He's been a king of the ring. He's been a WWE champion. He's been a World Heavyweight champion. He's been a tag team champion. He's been a United States champion. The only belt he has not won is the Intercontinental title. I told him, I said, look, if I was Sheamus, if I was the booking, I would tell Sheamus to go to NXT and challenge for either the North American title or challenge for the world title, the NXT title, or get a partner and become the NXT tag team champions. Because there's still things that Sheamus could do. Sheamus signed a multi-year deal with WWE. There's no way that they're going to keep having Sheamus around to be a jobber. He's not a jobber. He's an attraction, but he's not a jobber. Sheamus is one of the best wrestlers that WWE has. And let me tell y'all something else. You want to know why I like Sheamus? Because when I've been to live events, and this goes all the way back to 2008, 9, and all the way up to last year. Almost every one of those events I went to, guess who I've seen wrestle? There's 3. Every time I've been, I've seen R-Truth wrestle. Every time I've been, I've seen Seth Rollins wrestle. Every time I've been, I've seen Sheamus wrestle. And every time I've been, I have seen either Liv Morgan or Rhea Ripley. And and these are the later years, not the first beginning of the years. Because I've seen Randy Orton wrestle in Shreveport and Alexandra. I've seen Big Bobby Lashley wrestle in Alexandra. I've seen a lot of guys, a lot of wrestlers. It was funny to see Grayson Waller last year in Alexandra. KO, I've seen Kevin Owens wrestle the last 3 times I've been to the events, either in Shreveport or even in Alexandria. KO has always been there. Sami Zayn as well. The Usos every time. I've seen the Usos wrestle ever since 2009 when they first was in WWE. So it's nothing, out of the ordinary. But I just want to say that I do like Sheamus. And I would not mind seeing Sheamus have a WrestleMania match. That's what I want to see from Big Sheamus. Sheamus needs to be in a WrestleMania match this year. It's just that point, plain and simple. They need to figure out a storyline for him to have a match at WrestleMania. That's just my theory on that. Also, ladies and gentlemen, I think if I want to say something, I just read across the phone that one of the Isley brothers has just passed. And I think it's Chris Jasper, the one that say the Caravan of Love, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, they say he died at 73 years old. Wow. That's pretty tough to see that happen to him. My condolences to his family. My condolences to the Isley brothers family. Chris Jasper, who was a part of their group. I don't know too much about the background. I think he started with them in the 70s or something. He was like a backup or something. But in the 80s, he started coming out with the Caravan of Love, which was a very, very respectable song, very peaceful, talked about humanity and love. And my condolences goes out to the Isley brothers family. Let me talk locally for a minute. A couple of my co-workers at my other job, they lost some of their family members as well, and my prayers go out to them. My prayers go out to everybody that's lost somebody in their life. One of my co-workers lost her grandmother. They buried her last week. Like I said, one of my co-workers lost his mom. I know how he feel about losing his mom, because that's very tough to lose your mother. That day comes when she dies or she goes and your parents go. But, God is always there to hold it down for you. As you hold it down, it's not going to get any easier. Not right now in the beginning, but after a while, it starts getting a little easier to cope with. You may never get over it, but you'll be able to cope with it. And that's where you go to prayer and support when things like that happen. And so, I'm not trying to be a sad case right now. I just want everybody to know that I'm praying for all the bereaved families. It's tough at times to lose people, because some people, we're here, but we're on borrowed time. You know what I'm saying? Only God knows when you clock in and when you clock out. But my prayer is that God, let me clock out. Don't let me clock out no time soon. Let me clock out a long time from now. And that's all I want. And that's all everybody should want. live a long life, live a good, prosperous life. And I'm not talking about money all the time. I'm talking about just being good to people. Just don't do evil to people if you know you can't handle that backlash that comes back to you. Because it's going to be a backlash. Because evil, I say this all the time. I tell people this all the time. I say when you do, and I talk to myself too. I'm not just preaching this to the airwaves. I'm also preaching this to myself. When you do wrong to somebody, don't think that God don't see what you're doing. Because it's going to hit you. And it's going to hit you worse than what you think. Because sometimes when it rains, it pours. And I'm talking about problems that you know that the only person that can help you is the good Lord. That's it. Scheming, scamming, deliberately hurting people. That's hard. That's a horrible thing to do. Now, there's a difference when you're talking about somebody, and I'm going back to sports now. There's a difference when you're talking about somebody and the person don't understand what you're talking about until you tell them. And this is also sports. But I'm talking about real life as well. Sometimes the criticism be too tough. Some people can't take that like that. Sometimes people get mad at you. But guess what? You got God. You got God in your life to build you up and to make you a better person. That's all I want for everybody, just to be a better person. Be a better person in God, but also be a better person in life. Treat people with decency and respect. And I guarantee you, you do that, you'll get respect and decency back in the return. But you can't do evil and expect good to come back, because it ain't going to work that way. It's not. Evil is never going to prosper, but goodness will. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I just want all you to know that live for a purpose. You're living here for a reason, and you're here for a purpose. And I know that was the emotional part of the point of view, but hey, sometimes it goes to that point. So with that being said, I love all y'all. God bless you. God keep you. Wednesday is tomorrow. Oh, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, please watch NXT tonight on C-Dub, because the Hardy Boys are coming back, as well as TNA's X Division champion Moose is going to be in action tonight on NXT on C-Dub. So you guys enjoy NXT tonight. Enjoy the game between the Lakers and the Mavs and the NBA on TV. Enjoy it all. College basketball, women's college basketball. Enjoy it all. I'll be back tomorrow to give you the preview on AEW and to talk about what happened on NXT tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, you guys have a great day. You guys enjoy your Tuesday. I'm out.